Hello. So, as soon as I saw the thumbnail for Nando's video, I knew I had to make something for the One Last Scene project. And immediately, so many things that I absolutely love came to mind. The dance at the end of Jojo Rabbit, the culmination of 7 years of world building with Steven Universe Future, the culmination of even longer, the saying goodbye to childhood at the end of Digimon Last Evolution Kizuna. You have Centaur World, you have Samurai Jack, you have Groundhog Day the musical, all endings to things that I absolutely love. And so, with all these kind of rattling around, me not sure which direction to take this video, I decided to watch Nando's video for maybe some inspiration, some direction on where to go. And in his opening preamble, he mentions,
Why are Spider-Man's final swings such a memorable part of the franchise?
and it immediately brought to mind, it made me think of one Spider-Man movie that doesn't have a final swing and what exactly that means.
Gave me cookie guy entertainment.
Starting in 2002 with Sam Raimi's first Spider-Man movie, the final swing has become basically a staple of the character, something we can count on. In 2002, it not only helped show that the webhead was going to keep on swinging in the face of disaster and grief, but it also helped a grieving nation rally behind their hero. In 2018, it was a brand new voice telling a brand new audience that you could be under the mask. In 2021, it showed us a Spider-Man embracing a fresh start and not yielding to a tragic ending. Pretty much every iteration of the final swing on screen has been a way to uplift the audience, to end on a high note regardless of what the movie was before it, to thrill us, to let us know that no matter what's going on here on the ground, all we have to do is look up and we'll find a hero that perseveres in the face of those same exact problems. Now, it is at this point that I do have to recognize that it's not unheard of for a Spider-Man movie to not end with a final swing, but it is still in the minority of cases. Out of the 10 Sony, Disney, Marvel Spider-Man movies, 6 have had a final swing and 4 have not. Let's briefly take a look at those 4. There's The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Peter suits up to face off against Paul Giamatti's Mecha Rhino. Now, you can argue that this is a final swing of sorts. At least it has the same flavor, the same spirit as a final swing after facing overwhelming tragedy in the loss of Gwen Stacy. Spider-Man has given up on being Spider-Man, but he decides to come back to his responsibility. That's the ideals of a final swing. There's Spider-Man Homecoming, which ends with Peter turning down joining the Avengers, and then with Aunt May saying, what the fuck? There's the newest Spider-Man movie, Across the Spider-Verse. It also does not end with a final swing, as it teases a direct cliffhanger for the next movie. And so finally, we come to the subject of this video, Spider-Man 3. So now that we've arrived on the subject, what is the final scene of Spider-Man 3? Can you picture it? Do you remember it? Are you thinking of Peter forgiving Sandman, telling him that he has done terrible things too? Are you picturing the sun rising over the city as Peter and MJ say goodbye to their best friend? Are you picturing yet another funeral scene as our hero in voiceover tells us to choose to be the best of ourselves? Are you thinking after that it's roll credits? But that's not where the movie ends. It sure could have been. I mean, that's a pretty great ending in and of itself. It captures the themes that the movie is trying to convey, and it also mirrors Norman Osborn's death in the first movie. So we have that through line through the entire trilogy. It would have worked great as an ending, but that's not where Spider-Man 3 leaves off. There is one last scene. Another 2 minutes or so of runtime that completely changes what this movie, and by extension, what the entire trilogy has all been about. We don't end with Peter swinging high above the city. We end with him in the city, in a little jazz club. We see Mary Jane Watson on stage singing I'm Through with Love. Peter walks in, and as soon as she sees him, her voice trails off just after singing the line, "I mean to care for no one." After that, all the diegetic sounds of the scene cut out. All we have left now is the beautiful score that takes over. Peter raises a waiting hand to Mary Jane Watson, and she takes it. They embrace and they slow dance until the movie ends. That is how Spider-Man 3 ends. That is how the Sam Raimi trilogy ends. By the way, the last time we, the audience, were in that jazz club, it was the single lowest point in Peter's life. The moment that caused him to finally wake up and revoke the black suit. Peter Parker hit Mary Jane Watson, the love of his life. And so in that final scene, when he reaches out to her, he puts his hand out. I don't think we can be certain that he knew if she would take it or not, but she did. It further cements a main theme of this movie, forgiveness. And all throughout these movies, we have seen just how much being Spider-Man causes pain for Peter Parker, how it causes him to not show up for the people who love him when they need him the most. Sure, we get to see Spider-Man do that. He saves people all the time. Spider-Man always saves the girl. But this is one of the only times in all three movies when we get to watch Peter Parker show up, like really show up when it matters most. And so we have gotten to see Peter grow. We have got to watch these people and this relationship grow over the course of three movies. We got to watch some soaring highs and some real heartbreaking lows. But thanks to No Way Home, we know that this isn't the end. Nowhere near it. Love will always be complicated when you're Spider-Man, but he's certainly not through with it. You know, this may not be the only Spider-Man movie where Spider-Man doesn't take a final swing, but to this day, it is the only Spider-Man movie where we don't end in a Spider-Man costume. We don't end with Spider-Man. We end this movie just like we started the first one, with Peter. And in the end, we can't be that surprised that this movie doesn't end with some grand gesture as Spider-Man. It ends intimately with Peter Parker and Mary Jane Watson. We can't be surprised it ends that way because we were told what the story was from the very beginning. We were told in 2002 that this story, like any others worth telling, is all about a girl.
But let me assure you, this, like any story worth telling, is all about a girl. That girl, the girl next door, Mary Jane Watson.